Welcome to another edition of CryptoBuyology. I'm AK. Today, fresh off the heels of discussing whether BitConnect was a Ponzi scheme or a scam, I'm going to use the same questions and talk about the one and only Chaincoin. Was Chaincoin a scam? So, I know there's a lot of new people out there in cryptocurrency joining in the last few months. So for those people, I am going to give a brief introduction to what Chaincoin was. So back in July, there was this guy, Max Lee, who is a YouTube personality, who had a channel, I think, called High on Android, and he created one called High on Coins to play off of that. And a video came out in July where he discussed a strategy for investing in this coin that he picked out. So again, the coin was called Chaincoin. It was a forgotten about masternode coin. And so a masternode is basically like staking in a wallet. So you download the coin's wallet and you lock up a certain number of coins and you help, basically create a node that helps process the transactions or the network, and in return you get rewards. So it's kind of like staking, but except that you really need a VPS for it, and your coins are locked for that entire period. So his strategy was called hodling, and this word was around long before this strategy, but he's kind of the one who's made it famous in the last few months. So basically, the term hodl means hold on for dear life, or it just means to hoard your coins and don't sell, basically. So Max's idea was nothing revolutionary, but it was a way to try to organize and corner the market, basically. And basically his idea was if enough people bought into this coin and held on to it, the supply would drop, and as the price went up, that would draw in all the FOMO, fear of missing out, and more people would want to invest, So, because that would create more demand. Because obviously, when coins are pumped, people want to get into it. It creates more demand because people are curious. People want to go on that ride and make money. So he made the video, and it went viral pretty fast. It was passed around. I saw it from a guy in my group, and I thought it was a good idea. I mean, it makes sense. It's just utilizing the market forces to make money, basically. And I was on board, and really, in order for it all to work out, you really need the majority of people to be on board with it. But so his goal was to take this coin that was just a few cents when he found it, and bring it up to $100. This way, when all these coins were locked up in the masternode, that you would be making like $5,000 to $8,000 a month, basically. And I'm a very realistic individual, and in my head, I'm like, yeah, right. There's no way with all the greed out there. There's no way the coin is ever going to get to $100 and stay there. So, but I bought into it anyway, thinking that, somewhere along the line, I'll just get out and it just make a lot of money. So I got in at 40 cents. A few days later, there were a few dumps, but as soon as it dumped, people would buy right back in and it would go right back up. But I want to say like 4 or 5 days later, it hit its peak. I mean, it went up to over $6. I had turned a ton of profit. I had turned like $8,000 into over $100,000. And I didn't get out. And that's another story for another day, talking about the psychology of all this. But But I didn't get out, and I had my reasons, I had my way of thinking. But anyway, the coin dumped all the way back down, and today it sits around like 12 cents. So a lot of people lost a lot of money. But after all of this, some allegations came out where people demanded Max to show his wallets because he kept saying that he had all these coins, and every time it would drop, just buy more, buy more, buy more. Oh, it dropped. Oh, guess it's a good time to buy more. Just hodl, just hodl. And he almost created like a cult-like mentality. And again, I want to talk about this again in another podcast as to what I witnessed in that community. But this show is just talking about whether it was a scam or not, holding it to those questions. So anyway, people accused Max of scamming them. And of course, anytime people lose money, they're so quick to call scam. So Max showed pictures of his wallet or showed his Blockfolio, and Blockfolio isn't really proof. But he never showed absolute proof of all of his wallets and the transactions for them. So he had some of his closest people, his mods or the people that supported him, some other YouTube personalities. They eventually came out and said that he was scamming the whole time, and they had proof that to them made them believe that. So to this day, I don't know whether it was a scam or not. I don't know whether, we know Max bought coins before everybody else, before he made the video. I mean, why wouldn't you if it was your idea? The whole point is to make money. But when you're preaching community and holding together, there's a certain set of expectations, I think, that go with that. And again, I've mentioned expectations and not having expectations. So again, that goes hand in hand with that. But it's hard not to when this guy is promoting his idea, and then if he goes against his idea to sell on top of you, that's a little scammy behavior. So again, there's allegations that he bought a ton beforehand, which we know he bought some, and that he was the one dumping on everybody. And when I was in that community, it was like riding waves. It was like holding on to the ship as just whales just dumped and dumped and dumped, and people were putting more money back in, trying to keep the price up, building buy walls so the price wouldn't go all the way down. So just surviving that was a large task. And if Max was the one dumping, that's insane. That's insane. So there's that theory that he was the actual whale that dumped every time, while at the same time he's in the Slack saying, "Oh, just buy more, set walls." So another theory is that he had friends that were whales that bought up a bunch, and that they were the ones selling. So different theories out there, but how big of a conspiracy would that be if it was his idea that everybody buy and hold, and then he is the one that dumped on everybody at this high price? I wouldn't put it past anybody, but there's a lot of people in the community who just couldn't entertain that fact. They looked to him as a god, and that's scary. And again, we're going back into beliefs. If you believe in somebody, you can't see their shortcomings, and you're more likely to be blindsided by something that they do, or you won't be able to see that angle, that perspective. So anyway, if Max did do this, if he played it out, it's brilliant scam, because there were things that went on that made it seem like it was real life and not as simple as, oh, Max bought, everybody else bought, Max dumped, because there are many waves of dumps. So if that is how it happened, let's just hold Chaincoin to that same set of questions. And a lot of these questions don't apply, but let's just get into it. So, who are the owners in the team to be held accountable? Well, we're talking about being on an open market. So there are no owners. He didn't own the coin. It was a coin that kind of got abandoned by the dev, and some other devs kind of picked it up when they saw all the interest. So that doesn't apply. Same thing with, is this a legit company? We're not talking about a company. The coin had nothing to do with Max. It was just a Masternode coin, which was just being used as a currency. You can call it a shit coin if you want, but it had really no other use other than Masternode or sending messages or whatever. Where are they located again? That does not apply. Same as the practice. Does this company adhere to any laws that are wherever they're located? Again, that doesn't apply. So how does this work? So is there a white paper? Well, we don't need a white paper, but so Max explained it. How does it work? You buy and you hold onto your coins. And again, the more people buy, the more the price goes up. The more the price goes up, the more the demand. The more people buy, the lower the supply, and the higher the price. So it makes sense. It's just typical market. So we know how it works. It's just the market. You just hold. Not that hard. But again, it's the market, so you can't stop anybody from dumping. So I think these conditions definitely attracted whales to dump. And again, there's a lot of people out there that don't like success. They don't like it when other people succeed. They don't like to see that. So a lot of people, could have been out there to try to ruin it. So there's that. So how do they make money? What's the strategy? So again, this was kind of like an open source type of project. There's nothing hidden. So we all make money if we hold and sell at a higher value than what we bought at. So it's not rocket science. What's the strategy? You just hold. So who has control of the money? Is it centralized? Is it on the blockchain? Well, we're talking about being on a market, so you have full control of your money at all times. You can sell at all times. Open source. Again, this is all in the market. Doesn't apply. Results. Well, again, we're all doing it at the same time, so results don't apply. Is it sustainable? Well, again, that's one thing that I thought it wasn't as far as how they're going about it. But in the long term, yeah, if you get people to believe in the tech and the community, then the price is sustainable. But short term, there's a lot of volatility. It's a new idea, and it's like a trendy idea, so it wouldn't be sustainable. In gut test. Well, initially my gut was like, this is a great idea. I wanted to be a part of this. And again, back then, this was before I clarified my intentions. And I put all of my money in this one coin. And ultimately, I got out making like 2 times the amount because, I bought at 40 cents. So I was one of the lucky ones that I actually made a profit. But again, I missed out on a lot of money. But it ultimately led to me clarifying my intentions. And, I've made way more than what I would have had, USD wise than, Bitcoin. The amount of Bitcoin would have been a different story. Okay, so we just held it up to all these questions. So is it a scam? Well, it passed pretty much every test. You have full control of your money. So at any time, you could have gotten out. So if Max Lee was dishonest and he was the one dumping, then yes, I could say that he acted deceptively in order to make money. And it was not what it seemed. He seemed like an honest guy. He seemed like he was right there with you, like he was your buddy. You can look him up on YouTube. He would sit down and do a live show and be like, smoke and drink, hold on, I need my coffee. Welcome to High on Coins, where we get high on coin. So he liked to play everybody's buddy, and the millennials fell in love with him. And I know somebody who sold their bed and their car to buy Chaincoin. That's insane. I feel sorry, but we all need to take responsibility for our investments. And again, I do want to talk about the psychology around that whole event at a later date, because I feel like there's a lot of interesting data there. So, is Chaincoin a scam? Well, if Max Lee acted dishonestly, then I would say that he scammed everybody. But ultimately, we had full control over our own investments, and there were chances where we could have gotten out at 2x, 4x, 6x, 8x. How many X's did you need? Did I need? How many X's did I need? I was ultimately greedy. And I'm not going to say I was ashamed of myself, because I was at a different place back then, and I'm not going to judge myself. And it's important that we don't judge ourselves, but ultimately I was greedy. I missed out on a lot. So, verdict, Chaincoin, if Max Lee is guilty of setting this up, scam. If he isn't, then it's just the market. Whales come, they're on every coin. Bringing the price up, bring the price down, whatever they need to do to make their money. So we can't say one way or another if Chaincoin was a scam. Just like we can't say BitConnect is a scam or anything's a scam until it fails. Some may say that Chaincoin was a success if they made money on it, or if they were the whales dumping, or if Max Lee was the one to dump, then it was a success for him. And now in his later videos, you can see him talking about going to Vegas all the time, gambling. So who knows if that's the bed and the car money? We don't know. We don't know unless he wants to come clean. But again, I haven't investigated it fully. So as of now, Chaincoin is both a scam and not a scam. Just like a lot of things are both. And the more you can get into that type of mentality, that something is a scam and isn't a scam at the same time, the better off you'll be, because you're able to entertain both perspectives. I can see it being a scam. I can see it not being a scam. And ultimately, that leads to better decisions, because you're not in a belief system. If you stay out of beliefs, you can come back into consciousness because you're staying out of your emotions. So that's what I had for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it kind of went hand to hand and you got a different perspective from what we're talking about with BitConnect. Again, please, if you want to support me, just hit the like button, subscribe. Again, I won't be adding affiliate links to my YouTube videos or iTunes links. There is one thing that I'll bring up in the future. One other venture that I'm involved in that I may tell you about, but there's no pressure on any of that. But we'll talk about that another time. I thank you again. I really appreciate any support you can give me. Please share the YouTube video, share the podcast link. The more people we can get thinking in alternative perspectives, the better this world and crypto space will be. We need this, guys. We need this. So thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next episode.